welcome to The Explainer. I am so thrilled you're joining us today. Okay, let's just dive right in. Today, we're taking a highly visual, totally structured journey to master Japanese body vocabulary. Look, if you've ever stared at a massive list of foreign vocabulary words and felt instantly overwhelmed, you are definitely not alone. Rote memorization is just, well, it's tough. But what if we use the ultimate cheat sheet, one that you literally carry around with you every single day, your own body? By the end of this explainer, we're going to spatially map these Japanese words directly onto your own physical form.
So here's a quick challenge. Can you name your body parts in Japanese from head to toe right now? Before we start our top to bottom scan, take just a second to mentally check your own body. Do any Japanese words pop into your head? Maybe you know one or two, or maybe it's a completely blank canvas for you. Either way, that is exactly why we're here. By the time we wrap up, you'll be able to do a complete scan from the very top of your head all the way down to your toes.
To get us there, here's our quick roadmap. First, the head and face. Second, the neck and torso. Third, the limbs and extremities. And finally, number 4, the hidden neck connection.
Let's kick things off with Section 1, the head and face. We're starting right at the top. Okay, we are starting at the absolute peak. The general word for head in Japanese is Atama. Imagine placing both hands right on top of your head. That whole area, that's your Atama. And what rests on top of the Atama? Well, that would be your hair, which translates to kaminoke. So right out of the gate, we've got our peak, the Atama, covered by the kaminoke.
Now, I actually want you to visualize touching your own face as we move straight down the center line. Step 1. Right below the hair, we hit the eyes. In Japanese, eyes are me. Continuing straight down to Step 2, we find the nose, which is Hana. And taking just one more step down the center to Step 3, we arrive at the mouth, or Kuchi. So it's a perfectly straight vertical line. Me, Hana, Kuchi. Eyes, nose, mouth.
All right, now that we've got that center line down, let's round out our facial map by moving outward. If we move out from the nose, we hit the cheek, which is hapeta. If we focus specifically on the very front of the mouth, we have the lips, or kuchibiru. And finally, moving to the furthest outside edges of our face, we find the ears, which are mimi. So boom, our face is completely mapped out, center line and outer features.
Moving right along to Section 2, the neck and torso. Let's start moving down the core. Dropping down from the head, the body widens out into the shoulders. In Japanese, shoulders are kata. From the kata, we travel straight down the front of the body through the chest, which is known as the mune. And continuing our downward journey, we land right at the center of the core, the stomach, which is the Onaka. So the front of your core drops from the kata to the mune, right down to the Onaka. Now, let's spin our anatomical map around to the back. Here we have the Koshi, which translates to the lower back. Visualizing the Koshi on the reverse side of our core totally completes our tour of the body's central torso. We've got the front and the back mapped out and ready to go. Next up is Section 3, the limbs and extremities. It's time to reach outward. Extending out from our core, the first thing we reach are the hands, and the word for hand is simply te, but we can zoom in even further to the fine details here. Those digits extending from the te, those are your fingers, and the Japanese word for fingers is yubi. Te and yubi are what allow you to interact with literally everything around you. Let's travel all the way down to the body's foundation now. We are jumping down to the lower extremities to highlight Ashi, which is the word for legs. Your Ashi are what hold up this entire spatial map we've been building, from the Atama all the way down. And that brings us to Section 4, the hidden neck connection. This is seriously an aha moment. So let's recall a word that connects the head to the torso, Kubi, meaning neck. Now, we kind of skipped over it a little bit earlier, but Kubi is about to serve as an absolutely crucial puzzle piece for our remaining vocabulary. This brilliantly illustrates the pure genius of how Japanese vocabulary is actually constructed. On one side, we have Kubi, your neck. On the other side, we have the words for wrist, Tekubi, and ankle, Ashikubi. Are you noticing the visual pattern here? The standalone word for neck is embedded directly into the words for our body's major joints. What's really fascinating about this is how we can just break it down logically. The word for wrist is Tekubi. Well, we already learned that te means hand, and we literally just learned that kubi means neck. So when you combine them, you literally get the neck of the hand. I mean, isn't that an incredibly intuitive way to describe a wrist? It's the joint, the literal neck where the hand connects to the arm. And the best part,
This rule applies downwards as well. Just check out the ankle, Ashikubi. We learned earlier that Ashi means leg. Combine Ashi with Kubi and you have the neck of the leg. The ankle perfectly mirrors the pattern of the wrist. Once you know Kubi, you essentially get Tekubi and Ashikubi for free just by plugging in the words for hand and leg. It's like a linguistic buy one get two free deal.
Okay, let's review our full anatomical scan to see just how far we've come. We started at the top with the head and face, learning Atama, mi, Hana, and Kuchi. Then we traced the core down through Kata, mune, Onaka, and around to the Koshi. We reached outward to our limbs with Thet and Ashi. And finally, we discovered those beautiful joint connections where Kubi magically unlocks the words for wrist and ankle. Recognizing these spatial and structural patterns makes all this vocabulary completely unforgettable.
So now that you can map your physical form in Japanese, how are you going to use these words in your next conversation? You see, you aren't just memorizing a random list anymore. You have a physical map that you carry with you everywhere. Next time you try to remember the word for wrist, just look at your hand, remember te, picture its neck, and you'll immediately know it's Tekubi. Challenge yourself to touch each body part in the mirror tomorrow morning and actually name them out loud. But, it really leaves you wondering, if the wrist is the neck of the hand, what other incredible logical puzzles are hidden inside the Japanese language just waiting for you to decode them? Thanks for joining me on this explainer, and keep building those visual connections.